Welcome to the Gallop TV studio for the preview show for the race meeting that's going to take place at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the Poly Track, Sunday the 30th of November 2025. With me to go through this meeting is my good friend and colleague Dees Meyer Dianant, and it's a tough meeting, but we're going to do our best to get through it. Dees, how are you today?
All okay, Warren. Looking forward to ending of the month with some good results, because when we worked together on Friday night, the exotic dividends told a story. It was tough for punters, and I trust that all the varied racing fans are well. Hopefully it can turn their way on Sunday.
Monday begins December, Dees.
Unbelievable.
December.
Oh.
I mean, we're walking in the shops and there's Christmas decorations all over the place. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Before you know it, it'll be the Queen's Plate, then the Met, and then it's back to champion season.
Right, let's go. We've got 8 difficult races to go through, so we're not going to go on and labour too many points because it's tough. We're going to give you what we like. We're recording the show, ladies and gentlemen, early. You know that. Please check your scratchings, jockey changes, betting moves, equipment changes before taking your final bets. This show is recorded very early. Race 1 is a maiden plate over 1,000 metres. Kicks off for proceedings 12:40, 20 to 1. And these 9 runners will face the starter at the time of recording. And to be quite frank, there's not too much to go on, but there's early money for number 5, Kamogi, a son of Rafif out of a dynasty mare from the Andre Nel stable. Serena Mudley's going to ride, trading at around 18 to 10 at the time of recording. This first time is not going to have to be too good to make a winning debut, Dees. A horse like Grand Force obviously has got a place chance. Barrington Blue, stop start. A lot of horses at this race meeting are having comeback runs. In this race alone, there's Barrington Blue 20 weeks off, Black Frost 19 weeks off. But maybe this first time is good enough to win on debut.
If I said Queen's Plate, I meant King. Okay, race number 1, bipod time, Warren, it will 12:40. Yeah, the first time, the word is forward type quartet chance, but I know that the horse shows some very good work back home, Warren. And if he does bring his homework to the races, he's the only horse that's been supported anti-post, 5 to 2 into 18 to 10. Number 1, Grand Force, is at 3 to 1. Number 6 is trading at 6 to 1. 8, Barrington Blue at 9 to 2. And 9, Black Forest at 5 to 1. So 5 to 2 into 18 to 10, Kamogi. And if he brings his homework to the track, and then he will run a forward race, is the stable comment. And I know that he does show some good work back home. So if he's not too green and first day at school, if he takes to racing first up, I think he'll run a very good race. He wouldn't be a surprise winner, Warren. Grand Force has had many chances, but his recent form is good. This horse, number 6, Tony Rivelin's runner, have a look at her in the ring. She looks like a really nice filly. I think she'll progress from that first start. And then 8, Barrington Blue for MJ Ordendown, ran well first 2 starts. And then Hollywoodbets Greyville on the Poly Track. We're not going to say this early in her career that she doesn't enjoy the surface, but she didn't do well last time out when they put her on the Poly. So let's see how she goes this time around. But I agree with you. Wood number 5, if forward enough, could dispose of a field of this nature where there's not much form to go around.
Before we move on to the second race, Barrington Blue ran 9th, well beaten. That's not the point I want to make. The point I want to make is Clickbait won that race.
Yeah.
You have to have felt for that dear punter that had 1 ticket last night, Friday night, on Clickbait for the pick 6, and Clickbait had to run second.
Yeah, that was
tough.
Ticket.
That was a bitter pill for that punter to swallow.
Yeah, maybe it was percentages that made up the ticket, but if it was 1 ticket, that was going to be a big collection. But Clickbait did run a good race. But nevertheless, I think Rachel rode an excellent race on Siberian Winter to win. But let's close off race number 1. Number 5, Kamogi, has been supported anti-post racing fans, but it is the start of the bipod. How confident can you be with a first-timer? Well, we'll see on race day on how he is turned out. But numbers 1, Grand Force, and number 8, Barrington Blue, look to be the obvious dangers. The second race will kick off the place accumulator. It's a conditions plate, 1,000 meters the distance. Quality in this field, average rating of 102, but we know it's a conditions plate. So let's have a look at the best weighted column, dominated by number 2, Luhamba Pambili at a 124. Joint in second, number 1, King of Goals, and number 6, V. Hans Webb at a 114. Yeah, the betting is like so, Warren. Number 1, King of Goals at 7-2. Number 2, Luhamba Pambili at 12-10. 3, Don Karari at 7-1. And 6, Vihans Webb, the unknown on the surface, at 5-2. I think everything does point to the very speedy son of Denon Platina for Garrett Van Zyl and Sean Veal, Luhamba Pambili, who's also having his first start on the poly track. So both the Van Zyl runners, numbers 2 and 6, will be debuting on the poly track. One would think with the speed that he shows and the fact that he's drawn to, if he takes to the surface, he's no doubt the horse to beat. But I have a lot of respect for number 1, King of the Goals from the Tony Riverland stable. He's got his issues. They're mostly, mental issues more than his ability to run. And if he's himself on the day, Warren, I think from draw number 1, you could see him bounce back to his very best against this type of field. And of course, Vihans Webb, how can you discount his chances? He's already won 3 races from just 7 starts to date, and he also debuts on the poly track. I think the winner will come from 1 and 2, but it wouldn't surprise me if 6 has to come up trumps. But I like to tip them 2, 1 and 6.
Yeah, it looks that way, and I agree with you with the sentiments of King of the Gauls. He's just a lovely horse. He's got tons of ability. As you say, he's had a few issues along the way, but yeah, he really is a lovely horse, King of the Gauls, and he's got gears, and it's been a bit of a long time between drinks, so it would be absolutely wonderful to see King of the Gauls back into the winner's box. He's had 1 start on the poly, and yeah, he's a horse that was a turf and tail last time, 5 lengths off Cosmic Star. Overall, he's just a lovely horse, King of the Gauls. So if he were to win, no shocks at all, and certainly would be nice for him to notch up his next career victory. Gate 1, Serena Woodley. But yeah, Luhamba Pambile returning off a 10-week rest, cozily drawn. Major Tommy, that form's looking okay. Don Karari's a much better draw. He was drawn 10 of 10 last time and ran a cracker, running on nicely, much nicer draw. Muzi Yeni rides. You don't often see Muzi Yeni and Louis Goosen teaming up. And yeah, Vihans Webb. But I'm going to go brave. I'm going to go light. I'm just going to go the 2 horses. 1, King of the Gauls. 2, Luhamba Pambile. And if I was pushed into a corner, King of the Gauls.
Sticking off the same hymn sheet here in race number 2.
Let's talk about race 3, ladies and gentlemen. A maiden plate for fillies over 1,200 metres. We're on the poly, as you know. It's the Race Coast Maiden Plate, runs at 13:45, 1:45 Sunday afternoon. There's a bit of form here. When I say a bit of form, we saw on Friday night a time in Paris. We saw Queen Fen win from that. A Spirit of Shimla, I think, was second from that. So that's quite exciting. And Are You Ready ran 7th in that race. And yeah, that's a horse that I think is going to improve a ton. Horse number 3, Are You Ready? And yeah, I think she's definitely one for the shortlist. 5, What a Passion, looks the one to beat. Ran second to Showgirl. That form line's also worked out nicely. Fleur de Ling has improved in the second start. But this was Prairie Terrace. I'm going to give her another chance. You know, the form guides say she was never dangerous last time. Yeah, she ran 5th of 10 midfield. But her form before that's attractive. And I think she can bounce back to winning ways. So 4, 3, 5 are probably my numbers, Dees.
4, 3, and 5 for Warren. I'll just give you the betting as a guide, racing fans. Number 4, Prairie Terrace, Alison Wright's runner, 4-1. 5, What a Passion, 9-10 in the red. Number 6 is trading at 5-1, and horse number 10 is trading at 7-1. Just a comment on number 5, What a Passion. Well, it's clear to see that all the runs have been at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, debuting on the poly track. She seems to get closer with each start. And last time out, when 28-10 favourite in a big field of 16 runners, I thought it was an excellent run behind Showgirl. Just go and pull out her form lines. You'll see there are winners from every one of her starts. Me personally, I think she brings the strongest form lines into the race. Whatever beats her wins. Prairie Terrace, I must agree with Warren. You know, it gets frustrating when you follow a horse that's been fancied in the betting, and she disappoints, and then you lose hope. But I'm actually surprised that she's still a maiden after 5 runs, because she showed up very early on in her career. So she's been frustrating and maybe costly to follow for some guys out there. Number 4, Prairie Terrace. I think the winner will come from one of those 2 runners. If I had to pick one more runner, it will be Rachel Vinegar's mount for Michael Roberts. They had a good winner to close off the meeting on Friday night. Rachel had 2 winners as well, so worth following number 5. But between 4 and 5, I think you'll get through the bipot and the PA Warren. For the pick 6, I'll only be including number 6.
10, Alakazam, for quartet purposes. She's definitely worth a mention, the relation to Strawberry Bear. So Alakazam from the Nathan Cotton stable, they do have the deepest draw to contend with, but for quartet and trifectas, you want to put that in. Another race, Dees, before we wrap, just having a look here. What a Passion, 10 weeks off. Jump the Green Light, 12 weeks off. Warrior Rose, 28 weeks off. Alakazam, 26 weeks off. There's a lot of horses at this race meeting, ladies and gentlemen, that are returning from long breaks. There's been limited tracks, so just play cautiously. But Dee's numbers 546, my number is 435. That's it. Race 3. We move on to race 4.
Well, race number 4, Jackpot 1. It's an open maiden for fillies and mares, 1400 the distance. Bring up the field, number 2 Overnight, 11-2. Horse number 3 Roy's Blossom, 18-10. Then we got 4 that is scratching at the time of recording. Number 8 Tiki Box at 8-1, and 10 Strutting is at 14-10. I'm going to begin there with Matthew and Mike de Cox runner Strutting, who was unfancied first up, drifted out alarmingly in the betting to 40-1. It was a big field and it was a fair run. 6 lengths behind Johnny Boy is okay. Touched by Angels, the marquee winning Quartermaster. I expected, I'm not going to say more than what I saw on Friday night, but to get a first timer to come up and beat you, I think that was the unknown in the race. So Quartermaster did run well on Friday night, Warren. So number 10 Strutting, more to come from this individual. Then I started looking for horses. 18-10, number 3, Roy's Blossom for Kumaran Naidu. She's a 4-year-old. She started off her career late. Her introduction to racing was good, but her last start over 1,200 meters was a flat run. She did lose ground. I remember that race slowly, and then she was chased to try and make up the ground, and she found very little in the closing stages. 18-10, I'm going to say good luck if you're taking that price about her. And then when you look past those runners, then it becomes an absolute nightmare. So I think this is a tough race for racing fans, Jackpot 1, unless you really like something. But Strutting could be nicely placed by the De Kock team.
Yeah, again, not too many arguments because there's not much form to work on. As you say, there's not anything to get too excited about. I think number 2, Overnight, can improve off that debut performance. She'll need to improve. She's related to many, many winners. So that could be an improver for trifectas and quartets. Roy's Blossom, the debut run is fair, but the second run's no good or a bit concerning when no threat. And 18-10, I agree with you, a bit skinny for us, as you've alluded to. Tiki Box, there's the Time in Paris run. That's Queen Fen, etc. We've touched on that form line. Tiki Box could improve. But I agree with you. Johnny Boy, with those form lines, could be good enough here. The draw's a bit awkward, but Sianda Sasiba will sort things out. And a perfect race, such as you say, that the De Kock team have found for this horse Strutting. So, yep, not too much to add. 10 for me is my first choice, and then 2 and 8 as big improvers.
Well, we're hoping for a form result here in race number 4. And if these horses at the top of the boards don't shape, you could get any type of result in race number 4.
Welcome back to the Gallop TV studio for the discussion on race 5, which is the International 500 Racing Syndicate, a class 4 for fillies and mares with the benchmarks 82. They're going to compete over 1,000 meters, and the competing time is at the top of the hour, 3 o'clock come Sunday afternoon. D's, in this race, there's a horse, well, again, 1 or 2 horses that are returning from long rests. That is 7 Tequila Sky. Tequila Sky, she's a mare that certainly has stop, start, and then your ladyship hasn't been seen for 27 weeks. This horse, Call Me Jane, that's going to be my outright firm first choice. The Karari filly. She's clearly absolutely loving KwaZulu-Natal. She's speedy, she's got gas, she's certainly got toe. 55 and a half, neatly drawn. Serena Mudley knows her well. And yeah, the Polly is third on the Polly. And you know, her rating 70. She's just gone up to the 373. I think she could still be very well, well treated rather. And she's just at such good form. I think she'll win again.
It looks that way, Warren, because last time out she won a very good race with Tristan Godden, and Sereno gets back up, as you mentioned. The betting is like so. Number 1, Prankster, is at 7-1. 2, Moscow Mince is at 7-2. 3, Call Me Jane at 5-2. 5, Vision to Achieve at 4-1, and 6, Dark Matter at 7-2. Then Tequila Sky is a 6-1 shot. So it's a field of 8. I'm just trying to minimize the spend here with 4 runners, Warren, in numerical order, numbers 1, 2, 3, and 5. 1, Prankster, she's yet to win on the poly track, but she has some fair runs on the surface. She's got a very low weight, 52 kgs, drawn 1. I think they could put speed into play with that low weight. 2, Moscow Miss, on the other hand, also got a low weight with Nkolisi Mbuto claiming 2.5 kgs. And you saw this young kid, ride a very good race from the front on Friday night for Yadev Singh, Gardener's Pride. I think a similar type of tactics over this 1,000-meter trip could see this filly go well. You touched on number 3, Call Me Jane. I agree with you. Could go back-to-back. And then Vision to Achieve. She's already a 5-time winner. Her distance is ideally suited. And Rachel Vinegar claiming the 1.5 does take some weight off. And then if you're including one more runner, which then goes against my rule because it becomes 5 runners, then number 6, Dark Matter. But 1, 2, 3, and 5 are going to be the play here. If I had to choose a roving banker in the race, Warren, I'm going to choose number 5, Vision to Achieve, because she's ultra consistent and she very seldom puts in a bad shift.
Oh, what a consistent, lovely mare. She certainly is. She's an ATM. And yeah, Dees, you really, if this mare rather were to win, it would be no shock. She was 4th to Captain's Christie. Moscow Miss was 5th to Captain's Christie and is 2 kg better off at the weights with Vision to Achieve. But yeah, ultra consistent Vision to Achieve and would have a strong chance. But I'm taking a chance. I'm taking a bit of a stance. I like this filly. She's been good to me. Call Me Jane. And I'll be rowing in with her. So Dees' numbers 1, 2, 3, 5. And if he were forced for a roving banker, 5 is what it is, Vision to Achieve. And quite rightly so, ultra consistent. But I'm taking a chance. I'll be calling on Jane.
On to the 6th race, 1,100 meters, fillies and mares. And we bring up the field. Number 1, Jane's Vision, 8-1. Then we got number 3, Mystic Dancer, the recent maiden winner at 9-2. 4, Dawn Surprise is in excellent form. She's on a hat-trick, 9-2. 5, Shipandani, 8-1. 6, Nile the Boss is at 7-1. Then we have horse number 9, Amen Corner, that is trading at 4-1. Just want to have a look at the price of this horse because I didn't actually take the betting down for horses in double figures, Warren, but it's very easy to try and get that if we just have the device load up quickly. This is race number 6, Racing Fans, which would also be the last pick 3 on the card. I want to take down the betting on this horse, number 8. I'm sure I didn't jot that down because, the horse is a 12-1 shot. That is my roughie in the race because I think that she could go well here, having watched her race at her last 2 starts where she was a bit disappointing. So include that as a nice roughie at a price of 12-1. Warren, I don't want to labor the point on each horse here because this is an absolute minefield for me. We've tried to narrow things down in the previous races. They're betting 9-2 the field that tells a story. So, whatever falls into place for the PA bar pot, the pick 6, even the jackpots, you are going to drop tickets because they're going to be well spread here. I'm just going to give you my numbers, Warren. Number 4, Dawn Surprise. Number 5, Shipandani. Number 6, Nile the Boss. Horse number 8, Poetic Princess. And, of course, number 9, Amen Corner, who's the stable companion to number 8. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runners. I've got budget to include one more runner, and that's going to be an inclusion for me because let's try and maximize our spend here. It'll be Comnaidu's runner, Illa the Orange, who is very, very well suited to the poly track. And even though she's carrying 63 kgs, I think she'll go well. So my numbers, Warren, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 11.
Dees, it's Quite rightly so, a lot of numbers. But you know what the scariest part is? You're quite right. This race, what did you call it? A minefield. Is that what you said?
It is. I mean, it looks that way because everywhere you go, something could explode.
Correct. And the betting tells a story, 9-2 the field at the time of recording. Those are your numbers, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horses.
Out of 12.
Out of 12, that's how competitive.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is I've got 3 horses that I found as lurkers.
Tell me
they don't form part of yours. I mean, that just shows you how difficult it is.
Okay, it's
a field race. So let me just quickly touch on the 3 that we haven't got because it's that kind of race. 2, Captain's Pride. Samanga Khumalo, a horse that I think is going to run well, second run up, back to in 1100. So Captain's Pride's got to be respected at a nice price. And then 2 Lunatics, one more than the other. 6 Nile, the boss, is bringing some Cape Town form into the race, but 13 weeks since she's last run. She could certainly get into the back end of quartets. And then this horse, Grew of Ice. You can laugh at me if you like. 7-year-old mare, she's drawn the deepest. She loves the poly. She hasn't been on the poly for a long time. She comes back to the poly. She's hunting D's off a rating of 50 in this kind of field. 4 lengths off Arverni Princess, 2 lengths off Quintasia. I'm certainly not saying she's my first choice, but these are the kind of horses in this field, this type of field, that you want to run forth to boost the quartet. So 2 Captain's Pride, 6 Nile the Boss, and 12 Grew of Ice to respect for quartet purposes. But I think in closing, if you can afford the field, try and go the field because it simply is that difficult. Welcome back to the studio and moving along swiftly. Number 1 here is moving in. So there we go. 7th race, 10 past 4. The race runs over 1,200 meters. It's class 5, benchmark 70. And it's the form guide at www.gallop.co.za. It's a great site. It's a great television channel, great information channel is the Gallop site and the Gallop channels. But D's, let's go into the penultimate race. And, class 5. And I'd like to start with Bank Street. He's a son of Global View that comes from the Stuart Ferry stable. Tristan Godden's going to ride and carries 59 kgs now. In the last 2 starts, 54, 55, so it does drop to a class 5. And as you always say, down in class, up in weight. Penultimate start was beaten 3/4 of a length by Mvelelo. Mvelelo has come out and won again. And he's just, and he had trouble on that occasion when running second to Mvelelo. He probably could have won, but that's for another debate. So 6 Bank Street. Over the page for me, there's Pleased to Meet You, number 8, that ran 5th behind Mvelelo. 7 definitely yes, having I think its second start for the Wendy Whitehead stable. The comment there is never dangerous. Well, I don't know about never dangerous. Yeah, he didn't threaten the winners, but 3.5 lengths of Pootalicious, that was quite nice. So I think 7 definitely yes, could be a quartet horse, and we can keep going on. Shimmering's an interesting runner, but I think the horse to beat is number 6 Bank Street.
Well, I'm going with the same horse that you're touching on, Mvelelo, but I'm going with a different race. That was on the 10th of September. I like Pleased to See You. That was also beaten by Mvelelo, but that was on the 27th of October. And we know that Mvelelo reeled off the hat-trick on Friday night. So we're sticking with the same horse that's got the better of your selection and my selection, but I think that this horse Pleased to See You for Andre Nel and Platinum Racing could be generously priced up at 9-2. I'll give you the betting here, Warren. Number 4, Professor Lupin, 7-2. 5 Firelight at 8-1, 6 Bank Street 7-2, and then horse number 8 Pleased to See You at 9-2. This is at the time of recording. 11 Shimmering is at 7-1. So I actually wanted to take a chance and banker number 8 Pleased to See You on that good effort last time out over 1,200 meters, where he finished in a quick time, 22.9 seconds. But I'm just going to include one more horse as backup, and it's going to be number 4 Professor Lupin for Alison Wright. Stable's in excellent form. Last 2 runs suggesting that the horse is ready to win again, and does get some weight from my selection, only carrying 54 kgs. But I respect your horse. In fact, I've included that for the exacta position back in second, number 6 Bank Street. But my suggestion is, racing fans, if you're looking for a banker on the day, why not take a chance here with number 8 Pleased to See You? You're going to get a solid run if he confirms last start out when he ran a good race behind Mvelelo. The backup is number 4 Professor Lupin. And Warren, you like number 6 Bank Street.
Who's riding Professor Lupin?
Well, it is Mr. Tristan Godden.
Professor Lupin, not Tandi Wemagutwa?
No, Tandy is riding Professor Lupin, Bank Street, Tristan.
Yes, that's why I'm asking you that, is because there could be a McGlug's dance.
Oh, there must be. There has to be.
There could be a McGlug's dance.
How was he?
Yeah.
He had a fantastic Friday, didn't he?
He certainly did. He certainly did. That was a brilliant interview you did with the team. Race 7's done and dusted. One more to come at you. Race 8, which is the Hollywoodbets Bright Future Class 5, 1,200 meters. We'll come back to you soon.
Okay, racing fans, hopefully things are going to plan. We're on to the lucky last. You're hoping to collect on something here and it falls into place. Class 5, 1,200 meters. Warren, let's bring up the field, have a look at some betting. 4 in Darker, 8-1. 5, Navajo Dancer, 2-1. 6 is Willow Gem, that's trading at 7-1. 7, Counter Attack, is at 3-1. And horse number 10, Master Silvano, is a 6-1 shot. I'm going to narrow things down here, Warren. It's just expensive.
Correct.
When you start multiplying your per amount. I mean, it just becomes a ridiculous spend, you're going to have to take a percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But to try and minimize the spend here in the exotics, I'm just going to go with 3 runners. In numerical order, I'll give it to you. Number 5, Navajo Dancer. Number 7, Counter Attack. And then I've included the 10-1 shot, number 8, Ibuto. So Navajo Dancer for Garrett Van Zyl and Nicholas Patel. The recent form is clear to see. And then last time out over that 1,000-meter trip, the horse was, I'm not going to say outpaced, but I don't know whether it was by design that they gave this individual a chance. I'm hoping that with 52.5 kgs on his back, they ride him a bit more forward than they did last time out. If they do just that, I think he'll go very close to winning it. And I can see why the fixed odd market has got this horse at 2-1. Then number 7, Counter Attack for Candice Bass and Serena Moodley. And the word is that this horse is working very well. So however you're reading into his last 2 starts in the province, which have been his runs after being sent by Candice to Terry, who takes care of things here, don't read too much into that. The word is that he's come on a ton. 8, Ibuto for Alison Wright. Well, he's the poly specialist. That's clear to see, and he does carry the weight well. So 5, 7, and 8 going to be my play here in the last race. If I had to choose the winner out of those 3 runners, we're saying, okay, give us a roving banker from the 3 runners, 5, 7, and 8. I think 5 looks to be the natural choice for me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that we're a little different here because it's, again, that competitive at Class 5 level. Just of those numbers of yours, 5, 7, and 8, I've included I've got the 5, I've got the 8, and there's 3 others, 6, 9, and 11. 6, Willow Gem, a horse that I think will be competitive off that rating, never too far off the action. And then 9 is Winter Waves. Damien Pillay takes valuable weight off. He knows this horse. He rode it last time and was really running on eye-catchingly. Winter Waves loves the poly. And then number 11, Mask On from the Inform. I say Inform stable of Yadev Singh because he's got a handful of horses and they're all running well. Great. It was so wonderful to see those. I've never seen owners so, over the moon and so really rejoicing in a winner. And that's what it's all about, these. That's why we all do what we do.
And the kit of Mr. Singh as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, always comes with that shirt to the track. And he told me before the race, third. Maybe I'll go second this time round. But what a ride by Nkolisi.
Yeah, it was a great ride. It really was a great ride.
No, credit to Yadef. He's one of the stables that we call them minnows because they have less runners.
Yeah,
more than other stables. Yadef has battled just because of passion in this game. Nothing else. Just passionately driven. Yeah. And he's getting a bit of support now.
Yeah, which is fantastic to see. So Mask On, I'm not saying is my first choice. I'm saying that Mask On is a type of horse that you'd want to include in your play. So difficult race. You said that your first choice, if you pushed into a quarter, is 5, Navajo Dancer. I'm glad that you respect 8, Ibuto, because that's the one that's going to be my first choice, 8, Ibuto. And I think that the Alison Wright stable can have a big race because 8, Ibuto, and 9, Winter Waves are my top 2.